second edition of Planning and Policy here around Salthouse Council. We will go through the agenda as it is written. Just before we start, just a quick note to everyone here that the meeting is being recorded tonight, so just be aware of that. We'll start with item number 1, apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillor Phillips, apologies to stand.
I propose we accept that. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Purr, all those in favour? That has passed unanimously. Okay, item 2, to receive declarations of interest and to consider any request for dispensation in accordance with the Code of Conduct. Councillor Blackshaw.
I'm a resident of Danvers Road, part of which backs onto Marsh Road Trading Estate, but my property isn't within the consultation zone.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? No. Okay, brilliant. Item number 3, to confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 4th of August 2025. Any questions, queries or comments?
Propose we accept.
Have I got a seconder? Councillor Harris. All those in favour? That has passed unanimously. Okay.
So,
Yes,
Chairman, you
I'll
will sign those
Yeah.
at the end.
Oh, at the end. That's fine. No problem. Item number 4, public participation. This is when members of the public can raise any questions, queries or concerns that they have in this time about anything that we have on the agenda. There are 2 members of the public.
That's right,
Would you like to, have you got anything you wish to say? You're more than welcome.
Well, I've passed mine on and Liz is going to relay mine during your meeting on but
You're welcome to say it yourself.
Letters and things from me anyway.
Okay,
The
just
demolition of what's really going to be happening, because our gardens are, it's a garden wall, it's literally our garden, this building, it's an outhouse, like that, square, it houses about 5 gardens, is it? 4, is it? So they were told not to do anything as far as I know anyway, but the walls have been damaged, definitely. The doors have been taken off, and there was asbestos on the roof. And my ivy is in that house in my garden went over the wall. I've got a photograph I can show you. But they have taken all this asbestos off, so they have removed it, and they've cut the ivy there as well.
can I just be clear, it's the Marsh Road demolition?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
right?
right. We're concerned because we can't, nobody can, on our deeds it's such a square and everything seems to be a particle. There's no T-bars at the end or anything. And this guy's came round to our gardens, didn't he, to have a look. He was almost a little bit threatening. If they take the wall down, can they just knock it down? We don't know what to do because we don't know, it's old when it was built. There doesn't seem to be any, I can't get anywhere with the land registry when I ran along. I don't know where to go with it, any of it, to be honest with you. I think the wall, I think we should come up that pathway, up where the gates are on Marsh Road. There was an existing wall, and I think at some stage, a long while ago, I think the foundations, probably where the original wall was. I mean, it's not going to be dead straight, it's old land and stuff, and gardens do vary in these terraced places. I think that wall's been possibly built on the original foundations somehow. I've got no proof of that.
Sure.
There's nothing we can, I mean, it said ladies, she's basically thinking, but there's no proof.
Do you know how to object to the planning application?
we've done that.
You've done that, okay.
Yeah.
So at least the Borough Council will...
Sorry, Chair.
Carry on.
You need to do it on the
On the
latest
demolition.
one, on the demolition one. I know you did it on the previous one,
Right, okay.
but you have to do it on the demolition ones.
Yeah.
Can we not beg Tom with the question?
Yes, we will certainly ask the questions, because when we come to discuss it later on this evening, we can include some of that in our thinking, and when we tell them what we think, we can include that. And do you mind if I just take your name, just for the purpose of the minute taking?
No, it's Diane Scott.
Brilliant, thank you. That's that.
I think you ought to have a word with him. Have you spoken to Matt, who was the undertaker?
I don't think they're there anymore.
He's still got a little garage at the bottom where he does his jeeps and that.
Oh, right. I don't really know.
Him and his dad looked after all their properties and the factory. So I'm sure he would know what belongs to whom.
Do you know, can I have his name or contact
I'm
number?
trying to think what his last name now.
Who he is?
Tonight,
He doesn't live there, though.
No,
does
he lives off of Cross Lane.
If I could
How?
have it.
Now, usually the Undertakers.
It's been under the trading name of Towels, but I
That's
understand
it.
it is marked
Yeah,
Towel.
that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him personally.
I'll try and get hold of him and get him to get, if he's got any information, to come to
Yeah.
the council office with the
If
information.
you leave a contact detail with us then if you're able to find that name, you can pass that on.
So do you want your name as well?
Yeah.
I was speaking to him.
You put,
Yeah,
Back on
absolutely.
Monday down at Stonehurst.
What's your name?
Antoinette Riley.
Okay, so at the end of the meeting, we take contact detail from you, and then if we can find that, we can pass it on.
I won't find out who it is, but
If you want to write it onto the agenda, just leave it if you don't want to wait to the end of the meeting. That's fine.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for raising that.
She contacted
We also have a
Will I contact you?
proxy question from Councillor Bennett on behalf of the member of the board.
That's correct. The member of the public's name is Lee Dobson. It's in relation to, I believe, the parking survey, and the statement is that the background information is out of date. LCC Highways will implement a trial period of no waiting on one side of Crown Lane and around Homestead, Steed, Windmill Close, T-Junction. At this stage, they are not proposing to go ahead with any resident permit schemes. I think this may be applying to Watling Street as well. They cite a lack of conclusive agreement for permits. They will, however, take the feedback from only those residents without driveways for the next 6 months, leaving the door open for possible future introduction of permits. Neighbours of Crown Lane are very concerned as increasing yellow lines introduced for safety reason will make it even more difficult to park near their homes with a lot of hospitality visitor parking in the evenings and daytime, particularly weekends. LCC have just updated through a letter to residents in the neighbourhood. I'm unclear of the parish council's position, as when this was discussed, it was resolved not to support the resident permit schemes due to the effect on businesses. Could you kindly raise this at the meeting and advise where MPC actually stand on possible resident permit schemes moving forward?
Thank you very much. Did you get the name?
Yes, is it Lee Dobson?
Lee Dobson.
There we are. Yeah, this links into something that I was going to bring up later on. I'm just trying to find where I found the thing. Here we are. Yeah, so there was a letter sent out, for those who don't know, by Leicestershire County Council. We wrote to you recently regarding consultation on proposals for residents permit only parking on Loughborough Road, Crown Lane and Watling Street, and no waiting at any time on the Homestead, Windmill Close and Crown Lane, Mount Sorrel. We asked for comments, and if you're objecting to proposals, we've now taken all the feedback to the consultation into consideration and a decision has been made. We've split the proposals into two distinct elements. So the residents' parking, the response to the consultation on the residents' parking element was not conclusive, as the residents' parking scheme will have an impact on all of the residents, and its effects of potentially causing parking issues elsewhere. It would need to have substantial support. Residents would need to purchase a permit to park on the road. Permits would be needed for visitors. In light of the inconclusive response to residents' parking, we will not be looking to progress the residents' parking scheme at this point.
Just to say before, all members have been sent.
So has everyone seen
Yes,
this?
we've got this, yeah.
Have you not seen it?
Oh, yeah.
No, I've not seen that at all.
Okay, so for the benefit of the Council House, so that's the parking restrictions. The waiting restrictions, they are going ahead with. But I can see you've got a copy of that now, so you can look through that. Has anyone got anything they want to say on this issue?
Sorry, excuse me. I've been involved in the issues. Residents have been calling the police, and we normally attend, and we tell the residents, because there are no WL lines, no signs was to say you can't park. So what is the conclusion at the moment from LCC then? What are they saying they're going to put some WL lines then?
So there's going to be waiting restrictions.
Be no waiting.
Yes, so they're going to have no waiting. They said there's more support for no waiting.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Did you want to say something else? Pam?
Not really. I don't think there's. I think it's pretty cut and dried what they're doing, isn't it?
Yes, so they are now
I
only
think
taking
the problem-
responses from residents for the
Yeah.
next 6
I
months.
think the problem they wanted to solve is parking up there because of the additional parking from public, and the no waiting sign will do just that.
Anyone else?
Well, like I say, it's not going to improve it at all.
You don't think so?
All you do is move the problem somewhere else.
Mm.
Then all the other parts have got bad parking problems. So they take all that.
I think the issue is that CAF, which people have been complaining about, the public time and crowd. People are just lazy to walk. I have been to the CAF twice there myself in the past 6 months and told them, could you put a big sign and say to all your customers, go and park Little Lane if you're just going to be here for an hour at the most. But people just don't want to walk, so that's why they're actually parking very close by. They don't, we only have to walk for a minute, and then so if the parking is being displaced somewhere else, I'm not sure if they will still park there and walk. So it just depends.
You displace the parking from, you move the car elsewhere, the people that will park there normally, they can better park there then, because the other cars will be there. The place is basically gridlocked. And if you move people from one area into another, you're making that area worse.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if Little Lane is free for them and they're not parking there, obviously they're not going to be parking 300-400 meters and still walking there.
They walk around there and park, they've got 30 yards to walk, haven't they?
That's what I'm saying. So if the restriction is put on Crown Lane and Wilton and all those places, maybe it will work in that area, possibly, because I've been always patrolling with my police car, and when people see me patrolling around, they don't park there. But I can't be doing it every time. So I've been working on this for about last 1 year. And so I've not heard now, you've given me this. I think I spoke to Ross as well via email, and he must have emailed full name, the lady in highways. So I don't know if she's got back to you. Is this letter from her?
No, this has come from Leicestershire County Council. They did a survey, so that's their.
The consultation survey you took it up.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do now.
Yeah. I hope it improves, because I was called many a time, people were sending me photos, and we couldn't really get any cars lifted because there were no signs, there were no WL lines.
Mm.
So if somebody who's clever enough could take that to court, and there's a good possibility they would win, because they would say, there's no sign here, there's no double line, please take up my car, we'll have to end up paying them approximately maybe £1,000 plus.
Were they causing obstruction?
On the pavement a little bit, if they were parking...
So then why didn't you move them?
They
If
want
they're on the pavement and it's a fence park.
But then you have the other pavement, somebody would say you have the second pavement, you can walk there.
That's no immaterial. It says in black and white in the law that it's an offence to park on a footpath. It's an offence to park on a footpath.
I think you can if you've got a meter.
Now,
Yeah, you
does it
you
say
are
that
allowed
in
to
black
park.
and white?
Yes, I mean...
Yeah.
It says
we
offence to
check-
park on a footpath.
We checked that, Shaheen.
Yes, we did, yeah.
Shaheen and I checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you can get
I
to
can,
put there.
I can remember being part outside my own house 8 years ago, and the
Yeah.
police car came and made me move the car
Yeah.
outside my own house.
I think it depends about whereabouts it is, you know, if it's near a
Because
junction.
they're now causing obstruction,
Yeah.
they're parked outside the
The
curb.
problem here was the residents were saying they couldn't access the drives.
That's an obstruction then.
Yeah, and so
Drives, we normally tell them, if you call us, we can come and have a look at them.
Yeah.
But whenever I have come, all the driveways have been free.
Free clear.
Yes.
Councillor.
I was going to ask Councillor Bennett, you had a contribution from your correspondent.
Yeah.
Just summarise it for me. Is he disagreeing with the results of the survey?
I think it's because what was circulated with the agenda papers, this letter was missing from the context of it. So They wanted to make sure that we were aware of what was happening because it was a part of the agenda pack,
Right.
and they wanted to know what our opinion was in regards to the permits
Right.
because we weren't in favour of it last time.
Yeah.
And so they want to know if that's now going to change or where our stance is on it.
Okay. And
What is our stance?
I think we should be discussing it on number 10, I
10,
think.
we
Yeah,
can
because
move
we're in
on
public
then.
participation,
Yeah,
aren't we,
no
Chair?
problem. That's fine, we can move on.
Mhm.
We can move on and discuss it later.
Did that answer it? Sorry.
Okay. That is the end of public participation. We will move on to the next item, item 5, which is crime prevention. You should all have circulated you should have the crime figures circulated. Does anyone have any queries, questions, comments on crime?
No.
Councillor Pat.
Shaheen, I spoke to you about speeding on Loughborough Road when it get past the butter market down towards Granite Way, and you said that you did you say you were going to get a
Like I spoke to you, I have something which is temporary, but we can only put it on a road where there are no cars parked.
That's
I
different.
think that's all right.
Yeah. So, yeah. So if for example, you know the road which is going to Loughborough after the Granite roundabout,
Yeah.
it's quite clear. So if it's on 40 and somebody is going 50, 60, we can have the speed gun there, or we can have that sign there. But if you're going towards from Crown Hill side towards your place or towards the roundabout, there are hundreds of cars parked there.
Yeah, that's true.
It will be very difficult for us to bring the speed gun there or to put that temporary sign, because somebody could just put the foot on the brake and say, I caused this accident because the police were doing something sort of that.
Yeah.
So there's a no-win situation there.
Thank
So
you.
you can't do that.
Any other questions?
So sorry for interrupting. I was here just for the crime figures. I normally go second or third, but I think you must have
Yes,
missed me.
we're on there.
So
That's what we're on it.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah, we're on. Yeah.
So, I think the crime figures are just in front of you there. If you can see, the good thing is we've not had any burglaries. Majority of the crimes which are being committed, you can see, there's no CCTV, which doesn't help us, or even if there is CCTV, it's not very clear. So majority of the times when we've got incidents, I'm the one who does this report. So I go through all the 30 days crime line and I look into it. So majority of the crimes, if you can see there, criminal damage, majority of it is just minor, but most of them you can't recognize the suspects from CCTV, or it's very poor quality. But the good thing is that we don't have any burglaries, and the thefts are very minor as well. So crime-wise, it's not too bad in Mount Sorrel. So if you have anything to ask me, or you can just email me through the parish council, that I can answer something. Yes?
In your report, I thank you for the report, it says police are dealing with and police have dealt with. I think for myself it would be really useful to know if the dealt with is like a verbal warning, or there's been a prosecution, or this case has been seen and dispensed with, you know, but it's not, prosecution is not in the public interest or stuff. And police are dealing with, does that mean investigating? Or does it mean this has been investigated, we know that there's a suspect and we're dealing with it that way? It would just be helpful to have a little more detail.
Okay. I was only told just to provide this type of information.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go deep into it, then it takes me a long time.
I really appreciate that, but dealt with and dealing with,
Yeah.
a little
Okay,
ambiguous.
I'll clarify a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay.
Obviously, now it's all been missed, but Rotary have been hit by quite a lot of crime. There was a gentleman who was woken up middle of the night, went up his stairs to find two men coming up the stairs in Barrack Barbers, looking for his car keys, which is a new car, right back on the front. They did go, but all the police were interested in was where were his shotguns and could they prove he still had shotguns. He said they were going looking for the people.
I can't really answer that.
I've talked to you about
Yeah, you can always talk to people. We have crime figures even for Corn and Rotary. I have another colleague of mine who does them. But
It's only a stone's throw away, isn't it?
Say
It's only a stone's throw away.
Yes.
Roadway.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Anyone?
all right, yeah, if you have any more questions, or I can always answer them through an email, or you can send me or give me your number through email, or I can have a chat with you possibly.
Thank you, Shaheen.
Thank you very
Okay?
much.
All
All right. Yes, Councillor.
If I councillors might find it useful to know, if you go to, if you just Google Leicestershire Police and go to their main website, there, if you scroll down the screen, there's a find your area bit. If you put in Mount Sorrel, it will give you all the details for their surgeries, speed camera bits that they've done, and all that sort of information. It can be quite helpful to know when Shaheen's next going to be at the MMC or Stonehurst Farm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and you can see all the crime stats as well.
Thank you for that. That's very useful.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 6, we're on to planning. We'll go to the first planning application, which is 42 Boundary Road, I believe, an erection of single-storey rear extension. We will cycle through the presentation.
You tell me.
Yeah, okay, that's the site plan, the location plan. This is the existing side and rear elevation. This is the proposed side and rear elevation. There's the other proposed side elevation.
Okay.
Yep. That's the existing ground floor. And that's the proposed ground floor on there now.
It's a terrace property, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't know if this is helpful or.
No, it is. Okay, there's the existing and proposed materials. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Okay, does anyone have any thoughts, queries, questions?
Propose no objection.
We have a proposal, no objection, we have a seconder.
Just before we do, did he show any access to the back of the property?
There is no access.
Pardon?
I don't believe there is any access.
Rather than put the extension on the back of the property?
Good question. Glad you asked it. Bring it through the house, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could see any access unless it's across the back of the road and back in. Can we go
Can
back?
we do that? Is it the site?
Site plan and the next one on, yeah. So it's showing it as a detached property there, though.
Mm.
So you think
It's mid-terrace.
so it must be down, it's got an entry across somewhere then, isn't there?
Is it a concern to you to take it through the house?
That's up to them, isn't it? But I feel it's a bit, it's showing it as a detached property on the plans.
It's where they always do it for.
Well, the neighbours would be chuffed, don't they?
We do have a proposal on the table of no objection. Do we have a second?
That's like a look at that. I was saying, what do you call
That was
it? 38 is probably where the access is.
Mm. There's a
Councillor
Second.
Blackshaw has seconded that. All those in favour of no objection? That has carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, the second planning application, Marsh Road Trading Estate, Marsh Road. Application to determine if prior approval is required for proposed demolition of buildings. Shall we?
Could you just unpack that, what that means, because I'm new to this? Determine
through
if
it next.
prior approval. Right, okay.
What it's saying is, do they need planning permission to pull it down?
Yeah.
And I would suggest they do, because of the materials and content of that factory, which is 100 odd years old.
Sure.
Have they made any
The
comments?
asbestos and all sorts
Yes,
of
so
things.
this brings it all
Yeah,
down to
It's all
this.
cleared, all the buildings have been cleared and bashed and it's been,
Was it cleared properly though? Was it?
Councillor Harris.
I don't
You
know,
can't ask
it's
the
clear.
question. You can't ask the question. It's not public participation.
Sorry.
Don't worry, it's fine. Have we had a question from a councillor? Do we have any comments on the presentation? Do we know if that's, has anyone made a comment? Does it tell you at the end?
Chalmers haven't made it, have they?
But they won't
Is
yet.
it? No. Sometimes they do, don't
On this presentation, it
Oh.
says there were no comments.
Go backwards.
they? Oh, did it? Oh.
They're just
So
saying
that's-
what they're going to do or what
Yeah.
they're intending on doing.
Saying they're taking the walls down by hand or something.
There we are.
So we'll skip.
Any wall near boundaries will be removed by hand.
Councillor Blackshaw.
For context, this land previously had application on it to build 16 properties. The application was refused primarily on the grounds that this is an area of employment as specified within the current local plan, and that it was proposed to turn it into housing. There had been no application to change its use from employment land to housing, and therefore it was just flat out refused. But there was a lot of non-material objections from the local residents, and I say of which I would say that I'm one, although my property doesn't fall close enough to fall within Charnwood's consultation. I'm not a statutory consultant. The objections that we'll leave aside the objections that were raised about the houses because that's not relevant to this. But the objections that were made on the previous application that are relevant to this was that residents believe that there's a large amount of asbestos on site, and as you previously heard, there's a suspicion that, well, a roof has definitely gone. We don't actually have confirmation of whether or not it was asbestos. However, one of the guys on the adjacent property, that's his job to identify it, and he believes, although he's not been allowed on site, but it's asbestos. So some of that has already been damaged and moved. This application has come about because residents said that the building was being demolished and it didn't have permission to be demolished. They also listed that there were concerns about drainage. The height of the natural height of the land is above that of the gardens next to it on both sides, and there's a concern about what will happen to the retaining. It's a very old retaining wall. Residents are concerned that it's not built to what would be considered to be current standards. And would there be a problem with land falling into their gardens? Who's responsible for the retaining wall? What's going to happen to the water? There's a huge amount of roof area. We believe that currently drains to drains, whether they be soak away or whether they be main sewerage, we don't know. But when you've suddenly got that amount of area that's not being drained, and he hasn't specified whether or not he's going to break up the floor of the factory, that's an awful lot of runoff. There were previously problems on Marsh Road and on the corner of Danvers Road with gravel being washed off the site and blocking the gullies. So obviously residents have still got a degree of concern about that. Gardens have previously been flooded because those drains and gullies have been blocked. Residents also have concern that there's bats living in the roof space. Although, again, because we can't get onto site, there's no direct evidence of that. But there is a very real concern about the noise and dust that the demolition will cause. I do know that he says that he will damp it down, and I'm sure we're all aware of how well damping down works in this village, and also concern about traffic generally in the area. Thank you, Chair.
No, that's Councillor Pan.
Yeah, I don't understand what. Oh, sorry.
Carry on.
No, I'm not educated enough to know what happens in this. Do Charnwood, if we say we object, would we ask them to come in and do a site visit and for them to look at all
They have
these
done site
problems?
visits.
And then they're content, are they?
No, they haven't decided one way or the other.
Okay.
They're waiting for all the consultees, which would include the residents of Danvers Road and Watterson Close, as well as our
Because the points you've raised sound quite serious, so would we be best then to itemise those and send those on to Charnwood from this committee?
I think there's
Would
also
that
a
be a
concern.
way forward?
Yeah, I think that the residents would very much appreciate it if the council would represent their views to Charnwood Borough Council. But there's also a concern that because he hasn't applied for a change of use,
Right.
what's going to happen to the land? Is it going to stay derelict for a long period of time? And that's not beneficial to us as a village as a whole, and it's not beneficial to the landowner, I would not suggest, knowing that's his own business, but
So that would be my proposal, I think, that we itemise all those things and put that in a document and send it to Charwood.
Yeah. Councillor Harris.
Just to make it worse, he's going to have a mobile crusher on site and crush all the concrete. So all the floors and everything we broke up, go through a crusher. That'll be dust everywhere, piles of concrete, which you can reuse in the roadway, but it's the process of doing it. Realistically, it should be taken away from that site and crushed elsewhere and then brought back to save on the door, dust and noise. But that's down to cost again.
Councillor Bennett.
I think we should also add in there that we do object to the surrounding walls being demolished because it's not in keeping with the current properties that are there, and also it's an invasion of privacy. That's something that we could object on as well, because as soon as those walls are taken down, the residents don't have that security that they've currently got within their property.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem, sorry, to the chair, the biggest problem with this, it was all built at the same time, the terrace houses in the factory, but one belonged to the other. So they wouldn't bother about boundary walls and neutral twos then. But surely somewhere along the line when the properties were sold off, it would have been marked on some paperwork somewhere, so the amount we might even actually don't need, so I'm trying to find out what I can.
So I think the proposal on the table is that we object and that we write into Charnwood Borough Council with a big list of all of the issues. Are you happy to accept the comments from Councillor Benner and Councillor Harris?
Yes, of course.
In addition. Okay, so do we have a seconder for that proposal? Councillor Overton, all those in favour? That has passed unanimously. Have you got all of that?
Yes, and what I'll do is do the minute and I'll send it to you for confirmation that you've got everything.
Yeah, excellent.
Chair, whilst we can't add this to the application, can I also propose that a site meeting with yourself and the county council is arranged for on site to go through these concerns, especially with the residents? Not which one is it? It's Charnwood. I
Yeah.
apologise.
Shall we
So-
see?
Sorry.
The proposal is that we set aside a site meeting between the
I think that will
Borough
answer a lot of
Council and
questions.
the Parish Council, so that we can talk through all these issues with them in person at the actual site and can point things out. Do we have a seconder for that proposal? Councillor Purr, all those in favour? That has
Surely,
passed.
if you've got nothing to hide, he'll be quite happy to have the site meeting on the site.
Yes. Okay, that is the second planning application. The third one is 3 Linkfield Road, installation of new vehicle access and dropped curb. Thank you very much. Did you leave your contact details?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I know it all.
Brilliant. Thank you
No,
very
no,
much.
but you're one of these.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Cheers, Di. See you Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so 3 Linkfield Road, installation of new vehicle access and dropped curb. We'll go through the presentation.
Sorry.
So that's the location and the block plan. That's the photo.
goodness. Indirect impact.
That's the second photo. That's the vehicle access photo.
Description
Gravel
of the
slabs and weeds.
You're basically dropping it to match either side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suppose no objections.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a proposal of no objection by
Move the car off the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
seconded by Councillor Purr. All those in favour? That has passed unanimously. Thank you very much. Item 7. Other plans received since preparation of this agenda where deadline for comment precluded deferment.
Got one, Chairman.
Okay, we've got none. We'll move on to item 8, which is Appendix 2, Decisions of Charnwood Borough Council. There are some on here for people to have a look at. Is there any that anyone wants to make comment on or ask about? No. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll move on to item number 9, which is highways. I think the traffic survey is a separate issue coming next, but is there anything highways related that anyone wants to mention?
Yeah, buses.
If I may, Chairman, under highways, that letter that you've already discussed, that was the issue I was going to bring to you.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, thank you very much. Councillor Mr. You said the buses.
Yeah, just buses for the kids' school bus from Rawlins.
Can you just, obviously, because you
So,
mentioned it before the meeting.
Yeah, so obviously the bus are full on the way in. With the new year 7s starting, there's literally can't get on the bus. Obviously my kids go there and they've not been able to get on the bus since Wednesday. We've had to pick them up, which obviously is increasing more cars.
Yeah.
So
Can we make a note that it's return buses as well as
Yeah.
buses?
Yes, so the issue is buses both to school and back from school.
And what's the issue? I couldn't hear.
So the whole list of ordinance you can't get on.
It's too full.
By the time it gets through both ways to here, it's full. So parents are having to pick their kids up and drive into school in Bournemouth because that's the only way they can get that.
This is an ongoing problem. It's been going for X amount of years, isn't it?
well, coming return wasn't a problem last term, but this time it seems to be an issue now. Yeah, because of the year, a lot of the year 7s are now using the bus service.
Yeah.
So they can't even get on it, whereas last term we weren't an issue. You know, they were all able to get on the bus, but this time...
This is something that the bus company should look at and be in touch with the education people to know what they need to want.
A separate issue, Chair. With the work going on at the doctor's surgery, there's a great deal more parking, which I would consider to be dangerous parking, on the corner of Halstead Road, Rothley Road, and Danvers Road as well, with cars unable to park in the doctors are parking quite often on double yellows as well. And I wondered if the parish council would be willing to send a short letter to Charnwood Borough Council asking if the traffic wardens could consider coming out and monitoring that area on a regular basis.
Are you proposing that?
I would, yeah.
Have we got a seconder for that?
I've just come down the way, come here, and as you got down, it's all solid down the left-hand side. There's 4 cars parked on the right-hand side from the corner of Both Road, Alfred Road. The 2 of them were nurses coming out of the doctor's surgery.
Did you second that? Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favour? That has passed unanimously. Did you want to propose anything about the buses?
We write to the school head.
Chairman, can I ask, is it a contract or is it a public service?
Both.
It's a good paying service for them. It's good more than every other.
Right to the school head. I know you've got a meeting.
I thought you meant I've got my own meeting the primary school.
And
Bus company.
The deputy
and the bus
head at
company
Rawlins
as well.
School.
And the bus company.
Yeah. Are you proposing that?
Is that, yeah.
Do we have a seconder for that?
Liz, would it be worth writing to highways as well?
It's not highways, it's transport in Leicestershire County Council.
So there we go, that's
And
So we
transport
could
as well.
write to the transport department.
Yeah.
Okay, are you happy with that amendment?
Yeah.
Have we got a seconder for that proposal, Councillor Blackshaw? All those in favour? That has passed unanimously.
That includes letters to the 2 bus companies, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
to the bus, yes.
Great.
Anything else on highways before we move on to the traffic survey? Okay, item 10, the parking survey report. We asked for this to be brought back this meeting because now, of course, we have a new county council and a new county councillor. We're hoping that we might get a different response to the response that we had first time around, which when we wanted to meet with them and go through it, they said no. So we asked to bring it back and look at it again now. Does anyone have anything they wish to say about the parking survey? Councillor Pratt.
Yeah, section 2 is about concerns about insufficient parking. And I think related to that was we were going to look at better signs, weren't we, for Little Lane car park. I think it's been noted before that the signage is pretty bad. I wondered if we could look into that, see if we can
Yeah,
trigger them all.
I had a member of the public contact me in the last month as well about signage for Little Lane Car Park.
Yeah, it is a bit dire.
Yeah.
The other one is the walking in section 3, the walking and cycling. We were in liaison with Quorn and Woodhouse Eaves about cycling, because you can get so far in Mount Sorrel and then of course you hit all the cars. So it might be worth, well, I can do that if you like. I can speak to the chap who was doing it at Quorn. I forget his name, can you remember, Liz?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, to see how because they were going to look at an alternate route.
Yeah.
Section 4, have we not got 20 miles an hour near the school? We haven't, have we?
So when the lights are flashing.
Yes,
Oh,
it is,
okay.
yeah.
Right.
Give a look at you do 20 outside the school. That much apart there and in the way.
And the other one is, I was a bit concerned when Shaheen said that they can't do speed monitoring on Loughborough Road because of the parked cars. So that means, because they go manic after they've left the last bump at the Buttermarket. You know, they're going down Loughborough Road where there's parked cars certainly on the right and a lot on the left. And I'm a bit worried that she's sort of saying we can't do anything about it. But I don't know what we can do about that one. And the other one is, I think we ought to apply for a pedestrian crossing where people are crossing over from Waitrose over to Quorn, where the lorries are coming down. And I don't know which side you do it, but certainly the children that are cycling, that are crossing over on the left-hand side with Waitrose on your right, it's a very dangerous crossing. It's got a little tiny island in the middle, but I think that needs looking at by highways, so I think it's dangerous.
And that's for cyclists.
Well, for pedestrians as well. The cyclists stop and get off the bikes to cross over, but by the time the lorries have cleared the roundabout to go up the hill to the quarry, they put the foot down and that the way continuing along the pavement, it's really dangerous. You know what I mean, don't
Yeah,
you?
I know where you're coming from, but
Yeah.
I don't think they'll allow a crossing right against the island.
Well, they're not.
No.
No, because traffic stops and it's on the island. You've got to be up the road to allow a couple of vehicles anyway. So they'll have to go up a bit to go across. I'm sure that's what will come back.
It's just so dangerous, the speed the lorries come down, sometimes not stopping at the roundabout because it's clear.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's not a stop sign, is it?
No.
It's a give way sign.
I don't know
That's
that.
why if you change that to a stop sign, that would probably ease the situation.
Yeah, it could do, couldn't it? Perhaps just register our concerns about how you cross over from,
Yeah,
One
it's
side to the other.
disjointed at that point.
because there's more and more lorries coming down there. Could we do that? Could we raise a letter of concern about pedestrians crossing over there? I don't know.
You could propose it and see if you can support.
Then we've got to write these letters.
Is he watering the flowers out there?
Yes.
Has anyone got any?
That's all I've got to say.
Councillor Pert's thoughts as a councillor.
Just a query about Councillor Pert's comment about the Little Lane parking signage.
Yeah.
What would be the proposal there? What can we do? It would be good, because we've talked about it for a while, and I can't remember
I
seeing
think the
what
sign we've
signage
got
is.
now
What can we do?
It's not big enough.
it's not big enough.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, so we need better signage in. And I'm not sure. Have we got one coming this way as well?
Councillor Bennett.
So I'll respond back, because lots of villages do it nowadays. Village parking this way, you add them to all the signs,
Yeah.
and then you make that one out there bigger.
Yeah.
So it's within our control to basically signpost it throughout the village. So at the entry points, you can have it coming in to say village parking this way, and so you can make it more accessible.
Yeah.
I think it's bigger making.
So if you're proposing that, I'll second your proposal to visit the options of better signage throughout the village.
I'll propose that. Happy to.
Shall we?
It's not in our power though.
No, it's not.
the Highway Authority. We don't produce signs.
Okay.
No,
But we can certainly try and get them.
We can
to-
ask them for a better one for
Right.
Little Lane.
Ross tells me that he's requested many times for the signage.
But it has, yeah.
Well, yes, we'll go wild and put it up. Wait to see if they
There's
say
a cost to that.
anything. Yeah, but see if they ever say anything. They'll never notice it. They'll take it all for it, do they?
Perhaps we can write again.
Yeah.
Perhaps if we keep writing, we'll get
Yes.
fed up.
Because that's, yeah, that would be a good idea.
We'll better signage to the public car park in the room.
And now we have a new county councillor, they might like and support as well. So we have the proposal about signage, shall we vote on that? We had a proposal and a second, all those in favour for that? That has passed.
A lot of people don't know that it's there, do they?
No.
Has anyone got anything else we want to say about part of the survey? We've also got a couple of suggestions as well that haven't. Did you propose the letter?
No, I didn't. I was just opening to the floor, really.
Yeah.
Councillor Blackshaw?
I think it's important that we have in the minutes that we note the letter from Leicestershire County Council with regards to restricted waiting times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have a view?
On resident parking,
And the no waiting time?
does the council have a view on it? That's a question. My
Well, they did a
personal
survey
opinion.
and they seem to have taken this survey into account, don't they? So we will be to argue, I suppose. I don't think, I think the residents' parking, as they say here, that it caused mayhem.
There wasn't sufficient support for LCC to agree to implement it. There was also concern about the businesses in that area, whether that would result in a loss of trade. I think it's really important to see how waiting times pan out before we make a decision either way. That's
Then, with my experience working in highways in the past, I think the county council have been very fair. They were asked and they've responded and they've given detailed explanation of why they're doing some action and not other action. But obviously you can always have an opinion. But I mean, I would have thought, you know, we've talked about in other places where frustration where you don't get a clear answer or a clear action. You have there doesn't mean you agree with it, but I think it's clear.
Yeah, I think that sounds fair. And I guess if there wasn't substantial enough support from the residents, then yeah, we will go with what they say.
Chairman, if I may, in the report it was suggested whether the council was interested. Obviously, there's groups with the SID speed indicator device. Obviously, that means taking on someone's going to take on work. Obviously, it's speed camera, not like same as the police, but you can gather advice on information on speeds, etc., which all goes to pressure the highway authority. But on the other hand, you have to have volunteers to do that. I don't know Mansell enough to say whether there is a group or.
You mean the handheld ones?
Well, sometimes they're on a tripod
Yeah.
and they set
Oh,
up.
yeah, I've heard about that, where the residents monitor it themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
I think I certainly would be down that end because it's manic.
The people of the village are very community minded, so yeah. The people of the village are very community minded, aren't they? So
Yes.
there would be support for that
I'm
sort
sure
of
they
thing.
would, yeah. Can we look into that then?
Certainly. Yeah, I mean, obviously the highway authorities are quite keen to help with SIDS, but I don't know that's shit.
And I think the traffic survey did highlight that a majority of residents are worried about speed in the village. And so maybe this would be a good route to go down, given that's the case. Do we need to formally propose that?
I think so, yes.
Okay, I'll formally propose then that we look into the speed gun scheme. Do we have a
Speed
second?
indicator
Speed
devices.
indicator devices. Do we have a second, Councillor Pat? All those in favour? That has passed.
Thank you.
Chair, Leicestershire County Council do have a community speed watch scheme,
Okay.
and you can find details if you just search Leicestershire County Council.
Okay. Brilliant. Great.
Appreciate that.
Community
Yeah.
speed watch.
Community speed.
It needs to be done on cyclists as well. Because I'll follow them.
Don't think they're big enough.
They're going fast and 30 mile an hour through the village.
Any, anything else we want to raise from the survey? Any other areas of the village do we want to mention that? Councillor Mitchell?
I'll just give you a little bit of information about another part that's right on the edge of the village, Kinchy Lane. Residents have expressed concern about the speed of vehicles along that road. Leicestershire County Council have declined the opportunity to put in speed bumps or double yellows. Residents are currently were asking for a public spaces protection order. That was declined on the grounds that there wasn't enough evidence. And residents are now asking it be made a gated road.
Sorry,
I'm
how
just
do you
raising
spell-
it as a matter of
How do you spell kitchen? How do you?
Kinchley.
Oh,
That's which council would that come under?
I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you, George, whether that is us or
Yeah.
whether it's Switherland.
Yeah.
No, it's Roseley. It's Roseley Plain.
Mm-hmm.
Kinchy Lane is in
Yeah.
on Roseley Plain.
No, because Mount Sorrel goes as far as the end of the terraces on where it just sort of slightly bends. They're on going down towards Roseley. The first run of houses are Mount
that's
Sorrel.
Mount Sorrel, then it's Roseley.
Oh, then it's Roseley again.
Yeah,
So it's Roseley on both sides.
yeah,
Oh right, okay.
yeah. And then if you go on the other side of the road, come all the way back up. The Mount Sorrel little railway
Yeah.
is in Roseley.
All right, okay. So that was just for information.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's always good to have the information. Anything else? No? Okay, I've closed the meeting at 7:52. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.